Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Welcome to Matinee Edition here with Lucas and Jared.
Don't you know? If you know, then you fucking know.
Let's give us a little clink.
Oh.
They couldn't hear that.
It's that damn audio format again.
Dude, running fucking first episode of Amateur's Note, we immediately blew out the fucking speaker, clinking 2 cups of tea.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, overload.
Dude, that cheers was too hard, damn it.
Way too hard. We start again. Delicate cheers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I suppose the ups and downs of learning audio, how to record audio is like, it's kind of a fun thing. At times you just have to make peace with the fact that you fucked it up. And
exactly.
At times you have to be like, okay, I know exactly what I did, so now I can redo it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it was a good time, though. It was nice. We'll plug the new pod at the end of the show. But getting into it, how's it been, my friend?
Oh.
It's been a few weeks since we recorded. It was a bit of a hectic couple weeks for the two of us.
Trying to find a place to put my dang LaCroix. I'm just going to put it here. Yeah. Life is always going by too quick, it seems like these days. But
hey, for the Olympia folks here, we're drinking some La Croix, but we also just finished drinking. You still have a bit left. Some Ember Goods coffee.
Oh yeah, it legitimately is the first time I've been in there.
Yeah,
and I was in there a
few times. And, they're really cool guys. Olympia folks, check them out. Yeah,
I'll say this: it's a nice shop. The Spro's all right. I like it. It is like even the barista. The barista was very much like REI bro, and like but it still goes to like a rave or two. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that kind of demographic. And then for me, it's a good shop. But
bro granola.
I don't think I think I'll continue to go there for espresso, but I don't find myself hanging there.
Exactly.
That's my hot take on that cafe.
Which is all right. That's the bread and butter of any cafe.
We're going to start doing that with like a random cafe every episode.
Exactly.
I'm just going to give our hot take on it.
Yeah. Bar Francis, we're coming for you next.
Oh, my God. That being said, though, seriously, if anybody from Oli is listening, go to fucking Ember Goods and get something to drink, buy some fucking retail shit that they have. And,
exactly.
Enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
They're nice folks. I can speak to that.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Maybe a sponsor.
It could be a sponsor.
We plugged our podcast to the fucking barista.
It's true. It's so I'm not like a good salesperson on the podcast.
Yeah.
I like, because like when people ask me in real life, I'll be like, yeah, I record a podcast and it's kind of about this. It's like, well, because it's hard to explain to, like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? I'll be like, it's under this name. There's multiple shows. There's something.
You know, I was talking. There's some customers at Lander up in Tacoma where I work. And I was talking to them. We're geeking out about movies. And I was like, hey, you guys should really check out my podcast that I co-host. And they were like, I was like, I feel like such a jackass saying that, like, but you should really check it out.
Hey, it's how you get people to pay attention. They were
right on board though. They're hopefully listening. Ben and Rachel, cheers.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, it's interesting bringing an old heart into real life sometimes.
You know sometimes it transcends media.
It doesn't just live on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been obviously things keep rolling for Old Heart for the most part. Like, although we only had 1 episode last week, we got 3 coming up this week. Yep. So we got a Under Further Review episode that's featuring. Oh shit! What was it? It's not the new. We're doing an Up and Comers coming up, but we have
Up and Comers coming up.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, this is such a bad promo. This is why I shouldn't do promos. It's the pop punk playlist. That's right. The episode that's dropping this week for Under Further Review is the council talking about a pop punk playlist we put together. It's a lot better than you'd think in total. So make sure you follow the fucking Instagram so you can check out the playlist.
We'll have a little list set up and along with the posts announcing everything. So how about Whack Arnold's?
Whack Arnold's brothers were recording. Actually, we're recording today, same day as Matinee Edition. But we're recording an episode about a great Bruce Campbell, Tom Atkins piece called Maniac Cop.
How about you refer to it as a piece?
Oh yeah, well art is art. Yeah, it's highbrow. No, it's a fun movie. Because in general, just like it's a fun fucking slasher kind of movie. But at the same time, it's cool. It's always cool to see Bruce Campbell in particular outside of like his epic performance as Ash from The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So though I do appreciate that, and have been watching Ash versus The Evil Dead now that it's on Netflix. So it's pretty cool. But that's basically I think aside from that, I think. That'll probably be it. I'm still waiting for a coffee and contemplation to really like finish brewing inside of me, and then I'll probably like drop one off, for everybody.
Dude, yeah.
But I think it's coming up. It's coming up because I'm about to have some more free time as my finals wrap up and spring break hits.
Man. So it's a lot, the school drag, let's say. I always look at it as like it's great to have a break from school because then I just work full time. Yeah, you're not doing like 100-hour weeks of like fucking 40 at work, 60 at home.
But that being said,
20 of doing fucking old heart stuff.
That being said, like no joke, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to be able to tackle it all, and I think that's kind of the thing I always take away from the old heart grind, the work grind, the school grind. Yeah, you know what I mean. Though it doesn't leave me with much opportunity to go see the Batman or things of the nature. I did just buy all 3 Spider-Man movies, Tom Holland Spider-Man movies for $35 though. So that's
not
cool.
Bad actually.
That's fucking legit.
Dude, oh man, did you see? I haven't yet to watch it, but the lead scene of Matt Murdock advising Happy on his legal situation is out. So
ooh, I haven't watched that clip.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. How do we usually start the show though?
Oh.
The gaming fucking minute. Old Heart Radio brings it back every week, whether you like it or not.
I think that's just Old Heart Radio in general. We're here whether you fucking like it or not.
So, gaming minute. I sent this to you yesterday. It dropped yesterday after nearly 2 years of silence regarding this release.
That's right, dude. Like, that's why.
Announced in 2019, Hogwarts Legacy had a full gameplay reveal and release window announcement.
Yeah.
So it was 15 minutes long and got into the nitty gritty of the setting, the overall mechanics, and then at the end, it's coming out in holiday. They said holiday 22, which to me reads as pre-Black Friday. That's almost always how those drops.
What if they just picked a random holiday? Like they were just like what if they had dropped St. Patrick's Day?
Dude, so that reads to me as it's gonna be early to mid-November, so they can get the Black Friday and Cyber Monday kick.
Yeah, there's no way that they're not gonna sell that for the holiday season.
Exactly. It's so that's usually where all that stuff drops. It's shaping up to be a fucking crazy holiday season for games.
Chogging already.
We'll Bowie's going to work. I think there's so much shit coming out. We'll have to do an episode just rounding up all the releases coming up. But I mean, how did you feel as I have my gamer takes that I'll get into, but how did you feel watching that?
I mean, it's really it does look really cool for multiple reasons. One of which is you obviously get to explore elements of places like the Hogwarts castle that you don't get flushed out in the live action movies. So it's kind of nice to be a little more interactive with that, particularly things looks like you can go into the kitchens and stuff like that, which was always such a cool part, particularly in I think Chamber of Secrets. Mm-hmm. It's just such an imaginative part of that story where you're just sort of you're interacting with the elves in the kitchens and seeing all that kind of stuff, and so elements like that will be really cool. It's obviously there's it mentions in the trailer thing that it takes place in the 1800s, 1880 or something like that.
It's 1880, 1890.
And so it's well established that this is going to be, that's why people shouldn't get their fucking hopes up for crossover characters, because it's establishing itself as pre fucking Voldemort shit,
it's 40 years before Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Dumbledore even born
yet?
So
Dumbledore, this is actually something me and Kate were talking about. He's the one character I think we'll see because he's born in 1886.
Yeah.
So if it's the 1890s, I think, was it your 5th year in Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Dumbledore as like a first year.
Well, but that would put him also like being in school under the age of 10, right? So
Who knows?
I don't know. It's like I think I wouldn't get hopes about. I
wouldn't get hopes up
except
either.
for like nearly headless Nick.
Yeah. Well, that makes total sense.
Yeah, totally. Ghosts are fair play.
Exactly.
I hope they get Peeves.
Oh yeah.
In here, well, because Peeves is such an interesting like character in the books that just gets completely excluded in the movies.
When did
Peeves is like a poltergeist that like fucking like just goes around the castle like fucking shit up. Like,
what if we see a live Moaning Myrtle?
I mean, that'd be interesting. But Moaning Myrtle was alive during the first Chamber of Secrets incident.
Oh, really?
So
well,
that would be
up.
God, dude. I sound like a fucking Hogwarts nerd right now,
dude. You
man.
and Kate, man.
But anyway, it does look really cool because, like I said, you get to actually like create your own character.
Yep.
You can like really
seems like there's skill trees.
Yeah, you can dive into the world. You're building skills. You're going to potions classes and shit like that, right? Like, so it looks like you're actually earning your skill set as you go, sort of like any other role playing game or whatever.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I will say that the concept is sort of strange that like this was like the hard sell. This is like one of the only bones I'd pick is that the storyline concept of like you being some sort of like late discovered Anakin Skywalker-esque magic user who like shouldn't be trained now but like should be trained now because even though they're too old, like, you know, getting thrown into the Hogwarts, like, so that doesn't make any sense to me.
As less of a devoted Harry Potter fan but somebody who appreciates and respects the property, I went to Kate on this. Fucking resident expert, Kate Peterson.
Yeah. I'm not. I by no means. I have an amateur.
So she said,
expertise.
There are homeschooled wizards. Not every single British wizard goes to Hogwarts. You have to actually get accepted. It's like a prep school theoretically, and so she said it is within reason that the main character could have been like a low, like a not like a low life, but like a low skill homeschooled wizard, and then they figured out that he has this crazy special ability.
That's what I'm saying, dude. His fucking metachlorine counts were all of a sudden like off the charts.
Dude, they're gonna drop that he was like a virgin birth, you know? Like, so
who was your father? The Force.
Dude, I think.
No, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, no, no, you're not wrong though.
We're ripping on it a bit, but overall, it's something that people are really been wanting.
When they said you start as a 5th year, I was watching it with Kate, and Kate went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that was bizarre. I was like, why plug you into like that part of the education?
But that was like the only thing that was off-putting about it.
Yeah,
and I like that it seems like there's gonna be a morality system. Like they sort of hint at it at the end with the fucking murder spell, and. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see, like, by the end of the game, there are multiple endings depending on specific choices you made.
Yeah, well, for sure. I feel like they're definitely going to go in that route because that's something that, you know, they have to know that players are going to want that option of being a dark wizard or being, you know, I mean, otherwise everybody's going to, you know, nobody's going to want to be in fucking Slytherin house. You know what I mean? Like, I
think what is interesting...
Although I guess you don't really have control over what house you get.
You do.
They're
going to let you choose.
Oh, that's fucking lame.
Well, I think...
that I think is fucking lame. Although people would also...
Find a way to, like...
There's no way to, like, accurately justify what house somebody gets in.
Yeah. Or if it was in random number generator, people will be livid.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. People would be like
people
starting
and
the
like,
yeah, exactly.
So I think it's fine. You know what I think?
It's the more suitable option. I'd say.
What I think that like would be cool is if, based on the house you went into, maybe you got like a specific leg up on specific skills right away. So like if you go to like, I don't fucking know, we're Hufflepuffs. Say we're both gonna be Hufflepuffs.
You have quicker access to the kitchen.
Exactly, or like for potions or something, you're a bit fast. Not potions, but the fucking herbology. You know, maybe you're much better at like growing the plants and caring for them right away. But those skills can be made up if you're in one of the other houses right away.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost guarantee you, there's got to be some sort of incentive to go to, you know, certain houses over the other.
This is another cool thing. Along with this, I didn't send you this, but they did a behind the scenes like production video with a lot of the developers getting interviewed about it. It's what we talk about with like Dave Filoni and Star Wars, like letting people that are passionate about it and that grew up with it create something new. That's very much what it seems like. These people love it and wanted to contribute to a franchise that they apprecited.
Nice.
And
the fans are becoming of age.
Even little things like for the first time we're actually getting to see all the houses of or the different rooms for the houses other than Gryffindor. Mm-hmm. Whatever houses, you know.
The common rooms.
You're going
past the common rooms.
I know. We've only seen Gryffindor in the films. It's the only one that was visualized, really. I think maybe briefly Ravenclaw. But in the films, I mean.
In terms of like dormitories and
dormitories,
stuff?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I feel like, the only time you see like you see Slytherin's common room, but.
Very briefly, though.
But that's like a whole interaction. That's in Chamber of Secrets also. Yeah. But aside of that in the movies, I don't think you really get much into it.
Yeah. It's
very interesting. I haven't really thought about that.
Yeah, you see Gryffindor the most. So for designing the common rooms, they got their staff to take the fucking tests, and you designed the common room based on which house you actually fell into.
Okay.
Yeah. For the level designers.
That's cool.
It was cool.
Gives you some like
they had the Hufflepuff guy come out and he was like, it was like a weird sense of pride in like stamping his identity into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fun. These people actually like care about it, you know? I think there's a level of cynicism that comes with entertainment and wanting to make money from like media properties like Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. But we'd be lying if we didn't say that there was a significant cultural impact and that people really love these franchises for good reason. So it's cool seeing people that are passionate create something. And Avalanche is a fucking great developer that made an awesome Mad Max game a while back and hasn't made anything since. So I have a lot of faith in them on this one.
I missed the Mad Max game. But.
So these guys made the first couple Just Causes, I think. So they're like, used to be this like very physics-based sandbox type games. Uh-huh. With some RPG elements. Mad Max got a bit more RPG, role-play game type specific, but it looks like they're really falling into that now.
Oh.
So I'm excited.
Well, hopefully they pull it off. Because I remember when this game was announced, and I also, that's the reason why it feels so fresh, is because they announced it, was a little bit of hype for it, and then...
just went quiet.
It just went dark, and so it completely went off the radar.
Oh! Speaking of things going dark, remember I showed you that Star Wars Eclipse trailer? Mm-hmm. Probably canceled. Already. Like 3-4 months later. Looks like they delayed it indefinitely, which 100% means it's never going to see the light of day.
Yeah, that's a Warner Brothers DC movie property move. Like that's...
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that sucks. Their Star Wars as a property is working on so much different stuff that like something like that I'm not like too upset about, as long as they pull off other projects and whatnot that they claim to. That's why I was really upset when they canceled Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, ridiculous,
because
right?
That would have been really cool to see like a Star Wars sort of like a Star Wars Top Gun. In a way, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't
minus Tom Cruise.
It doesn't surprise me too much, considering how seemingly temperamental they are with directors after they make a bad movie.
Yeah, it was just. And it's not even like, I really don't even think it had to do with the critical failure of Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 2, not Wonder Woman 1984. I think because she's had more success than failure. I think it's because her as a director, she is a busy person. Yeah. And so I think like that was one of those things. It's like they probably were like, if you can't give it your whole attention, then we don't want to move forward with it.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? It makes sense to me, because Patty Jenkins is, in terms of like big movie directors, she's still like somebody to turn to. She hasn't gone down the hill of Joss Whedon yet.
Hey, speaking of Star Wars stuff and cancellations, Rangers of the New Republic, which was canceled.
Yeah.
Because Gina Carano is an asshole. You know what they should just do?
What?
Recast her. Ronda Rousey. Make her Cara Dune.
That would recast her with Ronda Rousey.
I just saw the clip of Ronda Rousey fighting Michelle Rodriguez in Fast and Furious 7.
Oh my God.
And I was like, she could do it.
Well, she could totally do it. I guess it's just a matter of like, the thing is, I think this is where like, what's her name? Gina Carano or
Gina Carano.
Carano. Like, see, I don't even care about her fucking name.
They've both appeared in Fast and Furious.
Well, it's like, yeah. Well, she was like the side villain in Deadpool 2, right? She was like the head henchman with the extra strength.
First one, right?
Yeah, in Deadpool, just the first one. But
yeah.
Like, she's a forgettable actress. Yeah, and I think she overvalues the character that she played in
because it was like her one big thing. She got killed off in Deadpool. She got killed off in Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah.
After the audacity to make...
This could have been a steady contract.
The audacity to make the worst actress the twist villain in Fast and Furious 6.
Dude, like, I'm just like, I'm not interested in her career, man. I feel like, and to be honest, like, Rangers of the New Republic would have been a cool show.
Yeah.
But like, it's sort of like that Eclipse thing. It's like a property that, like, I don't think anybody's gonna really be like sore that it didn't happen. It would be
cool, but no one's gonna miss it.
Yeah, like if it was there, awesome. Like if it was made, but I don't think anybody's gonna be like, oh, like boycott fucking Disney because they refused to make Rangers.
You know what news I've been seeing fucking everywhere? Apparently Samuel Jackson wants back as Mace Windu.
I have been reading that too. He was even saying, I read a quote that was like, I'll learn how to use the lightsaber left-handed. But I mean, he cites a really good fucking thing, and it's the fact that, like, there is plenty of canon references that you can look to for characters coming back from losing like a fucking limb, characters coming back from extreme fucking things. We're talking about Mace Windu got blasted out of a skyscraper with fucking force lightning. I get it. He got a hand cut off.
Make him scarred as fuck.
That's what I mean, though. Like, but you're saying like Mace Windu, one of the most powerful Jedis of all time, isn't gonna survive that shit?
No, he 100% survived.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like, why the fuck didn't we follow that
Samuel Jackson was such a waste in those movies too.
It was
that it's like, I feel like they gotta do something with it.
And looking back on it, it really is. It's like one of those things you're just sort of like, damn, dude, if only they would have known like the value of having Jackson in that role more so than, I mean, like they've clearly valued having him in that role, but like they could have utilized him to so much bigger degree. But this was also before they really started trying to get like any aspect of a potential franchise or property to turn into a franchise. You know what I mean? Like
this was just like we're doing trilogies.
Yeah, exactly. It was the trilogy phase, and then like the trilogies really bled into where we're at now.
Actually, we completely forgot to put this on the agenda. The Obi-Wan trailer dropped. Holy shit! We can tell it's been a few weeks, right?
It's true.
That was dude. I don't think my mouth has been like on, like my jaw has hit the floor. My mouth was wide open when Duel of Fate started playing in that trailer.
It's gonna be fucking epic.
So fucking cool.
Like that, yeah. Like you get shots of the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and all these like sort of like there's so much on Tatooine that kind of like reminds you of like the aesthetic of like a Mad Max movie almost, where you kind of get these like, I don't know, just like really interesting world building vibes from this trailer. Like they're really gonna do a good job fleshing out some sort of other neon-esque city planet that, or it might be Coruscant. But I really doubt that you're gonna see Obi-Wan return to Coruscant in this series. I just think like
here's my theory. What if there's actually like a big city on Tatooine that we just have never seen?
I mean, that could also be.
I don't know I don't know if Obi-Wan would ever be caught leaving Tatooine.
Well, and I mean, that's the question, right? That's what makes you so one of the things that makes you so curious out of the series is like it looks like he's not there. So you're just like, what took him away from watching Luke?
Exactly.
Because that's his fucking mission in life now.
Yeah.
And you even get a shot of young Luke Skywalker, shout outs, to whoever that kid is, playing like a pilot on, Now
this is pod racing.
Yeah. So
falling after his dad.
It's just like, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be fucking cool. You don't really get much in terms of storyline. You don't see any Vader.
Yep.
So
you hear Vader.
You hear Vader for sure. And
Dude.
again, Ewan McGregor, fucking Hayden Christensen, both back. Like Christensen has even said like you're seeing like the Vader you're gonna see is like a really powerful Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So like I'm really interested to see how they're fleshing out that character.
Dude, and you know one thing that I still love? All the lore around the Inquisitors is fantastic. The spinny sabers, man.
The spinny sabers.
Dude, I know like in concept it's ridiculous, but like after playing Fallen Order and like getting the concept behind it, it's really fun. They're like
yeah, I mean
they're not like the idea with the Inquisitors was the Sith wanted to hunt Jedi. Like Darth Vader and Sidious were like, we need to hunt the remaining Jedi. We need more manpower, but we don't want to be usurped. Let's get these people that are weak in the Force. We know we could fuck them up, but like could probably take down the Jedi with like some assistance.
Yeah, you give them like some troopers to take with them,
Yeah.
and one or two of them might die, but whatever. You still have more Inquisitors.
Yeah, exactly. That shot of the Grand Inquisitor like speeding up the saber while walking towards someone is fucking awesome.
It is one of the cooler shots in the trailer for sure.
I'm excited to see, and also I think that's Han. From Fast and Furious, he's in it.
I was like, I don't think Han Solo's in that.
No. Whatever. I'm forgetting his name. You know who I'm talking about, right? Han Solo.
Yeah, I can't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, but I think it is because his character.
Kang.
I mean, his character. I feel like they're gonna do something important with him because he's a really like good actor.
He said that he is a character with a lightsaber, so I think that's him, but I can't say for certain.
You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a prime example of a Star Wars project that you want. Like 100% want.
People would be pissed if this never came out.
Yeah, if this just never came to fruition.
People have been asking for it for like a decade,
dude. So it's something to really pay attention to. The heat that it's catching is obviously that, some of the heat it's catching, which is such a fucking dumb thing. I think is that it's not dropping on May 4th. It's dropping on the anniversary date of when Star Wars was released. Which is like May 20 something.
Oh, whatever.
But it's like, yeah, some people were like, oh, you totally like you should have dropped it on the 4th, and it's like that's an unofficial fucking celebration that fans have.
Also, here's the thing.
I think it's a cool nod.
It then competes with Doctor Strange and Moon Knight.
Yeah, and
let's be real.
And that's got to be a pretty big factor.
Shall we hop to Marvel then quickly?
Yeah. I mean, just you go from one Disney to another, one Disney property to another Disney property. Moon Knight is about to drop. Man. We're close. We're close.
We keep seeing. I like that they haven't done more than one trailer. We've seen a few clips.
Yeah, there's been like I think there's been more like.
It's been more like a
TV
drip
spot-esque, like things that have been kind of popping up, but
been like a real drip feed of like posters, small clips, TV spots, but not like a second proper trailer. So a lot's being left to our imagination at this point.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's you've seen some examples of like supernatural powers. You've seen some examples of the brutality of the series might bring, as well as like just like the in general like. Kind of suffocating mystery of like who the fuck the main character really is. You know, like it's just gonna be. It's just I don't know. It's hard to make some more thoughts on it because they haven't presented more. But it is gonna be something to pay attention to. Yeah, like it's interesting that they kind of that Disney dropped brought on the Netflix series, the Netflix superhero shows. This month ahead of Moon Knight because I think it helps preface Moon Knight's brutality. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that they're looking for. So
I believe it was either Oscar Isaac or Feige, Lord himself, said that they wanted Moon Knight to be not as brutal as the Netflix shows, but a step up from everything else. Yeah, in terms of like graphic violence. Which I can understand. They want it to still be, if it's going to be mainline MCU, it needs to be approachable enough to a point.
Well, yeah, it would be really, it would be a hard turn to like all of a sudden see like a full MCU produced like Daredevil level brutal fucking series. Because at times Daredevil and The Punisher, at times like both those series got like fucking bloody and gnarly, dude.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist never really did. Jessica Jones did to a point, but more with
there's also more fucking in like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, and I think that's like a little bit more of the provocative side that they brought.
I just love how matter of fact you went to it. There's just more fucking.
Well, it's just the truth, though. It's like
true.
like there's violence and all, but like they do those two, and even Iron Fist. Like for Iron Fist being like a well, actually, Iron Fist had some kind of like some pretty cool moments, but
Season 2 had some really cool stuff.
It was probably the softest out of all of the series.
I think all this stuff. This is actually Iron Fist. This is interesting, and this is a thought I had right after that was canceled. The first season, hot garbage. The second season, perfectly fine and set up some really cool stuff.
Except the ending was so cheesy.
Oh, with the two guns?
The ending was so stupid.
Terrible.
Like
up until that moment, that season ended in a very fun way.
Like, as soon as that aired, I watched that ending for the first time. I was like, they wanted this to get canceled, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It looked like a CW show. That last shot was terrible. But
two guns.
The finger guns.
Jesus, dude. Like, I just can't.
The chi bullets.
Anyway,
but Colleen Wing with the Iron Fist and the fucking Iron Fist into the samurai sword. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fucking Typhoid Mary and that was pretty sick. Mm-hmm.
It was setting up some better things, but
it was. And I really hope that they can get back some of that cast, maybe do some of the stuff from that. On that note, Kristen Ritter, who plays Jessica Jones, is like back in like Jessica Jones type garb again, which is interesting enough. Like there's some pictures of her that came out where she's like re-dyed her hair into the sort of dark into like bluish that Jessica Jones has.
She's just signing autographs for people.
Probably either that. Jones. I would love.
She's
love
awesome.
It. I would love it if she came back, like her.
No, like legit, like her Jessica Jones was such an interesting character.
Yeah,
like I think you really could like attach yourself to some of the kind of arcs that they put her character through.
I think John, and also they should bring back David Tennant as the Purple Man. Oh well, yeah, he was great.
I guarantee you, if they're gonna bring him back into the fold for anything, it's gonna be a bigger role. Though.
Absolutely,
like, you know what I mean? Like, because he's just such a fucking talent. Like he's David incredible. Tennant, like.
I think John Bernthal, Charlie Cox, and Kristen Ritter are incredible in their respective roles. Mike Coulter can totally be recast as Luke Cage, even though I liked him.
Yeah,
and then the dude who played Iron Fist fucking sucked.
Yeah, like that.
That was not a good dating.
That doesn't need to be happening again. The guy that they had play his like close friend or whatever in the second season, who like also was trying to be the Iron Fist.
Oh, Davos.
Like he would have been a cooler leading Iron Fist if you.
He was also just cool.
Yeah, but I mean, that being said, like again, we've talked about this in the past. Like Danny Rand's character is pretty much the type of character that they portrayed in the show.
Yeah,
where it's like a rich white guy who had a tragedy happen, ended up getting fucking raised in this crazy place, this crazy mystical realm, and blah blah blah. It's just like, if for the times and when it came out, it was like people that's
slightly in bad
people were people were like, well,
it showed the age of the character.
Yeah, but it also is the character.
It is,
and so that is the predicament, right?
But I think
so, like,
it brings up a very interesting conversation about adaptations of media that were made in a different time. It's like if the first Iron Man still took place in Vietnam, and they didn't change it to the War on Terror. It's like there's some changes that might be warranted without destroying the identity of a character, if you know what I mean.
I don't get that reference now.
Well, that's the first Iron Man, like Iron Man's origin story in the comics. It's the Vietnam War, but they changed it for the films. It's a necessary change.
They just changed it to a different war.
Exactly. They changed it to a different circumstance. There was like slight tweaks that happened to the overall origin story that made sense.
But he's still a rich white guy.
Exactly.
Who like has a change of heart, right?
Yes. Yes. No. That's what I mean is like you don't have to completely break the character in order to like make it slightly more relevant and more timely, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's in a way it's how do you say it? It's the reason why, like, it's the reason why there's an African American Superman who is not Kal-El.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's because people want representation for themselves in characters that they want to enjoy.
Yeah.
But though I don't necessarily think it would be a bad move to just like to just cast like fucking Michael B. Jordan, who's has been like rumored to be like in a Superman role forever.
Didn't it turn out that he was producing?
I can't remember.
I think so.
But like I don't think like. Yeah, I do agree with you. I don't think like necessarily live action kind of warrants that sometimes, or it does warrant that sometimes because, I mean, it is whatever in real life. I just think that I don't know.
It's sort of
I think that when people it's different with like a character where it's like there's no precedent for them being anything other than what that character is.
Yeah,
and so it's like. You're just creating a different character at some points. And like that's fine too.
Yeah.
But it's like you can't pass off I don't know. I just think
we saw an origin of Danny Rand that was literally ripped off of the pages of the comic.
Yeah, and I think because of the atmosphere and the times, it wasn't something that people necessarily wanted.
Exactly. Whether that is the fault, it is not the fault of the actual origin of the character in the comics. But
I just think
it's a fault of circumstance and the lack of like change to it.
Yeah, I think where it gets hit, like the reason it gets hit is because it's just for the importance of the character and like the position of the character and all of Danny Rand. It's just not something that, and this is why I think it is the weakest of all those Netflix series is because it's just not something that people were champing at. Like nobody was like asking for it, and so it does kind of seem like why'd you pull that out now?
Exactly.
When it's not really a good time for that.
I mean,
like
there was all the talk
especially because it's Iron Fist. Like it was such a weird thing. I remember that when it rolled out. I was like, I get that they're doing street level villains, but I was like, Iron Fist is like it's just one that like you don't really care about that much.
Well, it seems like they did it because they were like Luke Cage and Iron Fist,
Yeah, exactly. Like
that was more so it. I genuinely think they were like, we can tell a good Luke Cage story, but then Luke Cage and Power Man and Iron Fist, right?
Yeah, I think that would have been like I mean honestly that would have been a better direction just in general.
I mean that episode of Luke Cage with Danny Rand is arguably the best episode of season 2.
But okay, we need to get off the Disney Netflix stuff because we're in the weeds too much about it.
On the note of changing characters' origin stories for a new piece of media.
Exactly.
Was it
as you're alluding to?
Was it always a segue?
It was. I mean, yeah, the whole thing. We're talking about Ms. Marvel. They just dropped like an official trailer for Ms. Marvel, and though it does look like a cutesy fucking fun series. Besides
the major change to the character, does it look good in your opinion? Does it look like it is trying to be? Does it look like a good coming of age story?
Yeah, it looks like I don't know how to say this. It looks like something that I would be fine missing.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, I'll probably check it out because it's a Marvel show.
Yeah.
And
it looks like it's going to skew a bit younger.
Yeah, and like that's fine. It is like you said. It's more in vein of like a Spider-Man-esque story where it's like superhero getting their powers, learning how to deal with it like adolescence and all that stuff, which is quite compelling. And it's one of the reasons why Marvel and characters like these like Ms. Marvel and like it's actually a really good parallel of Ms. Marvel and Spider-Man. When Spider-Man dropped, in comics, it was like, whoa, like I am a teenager also, like like this dude's just like a teenager with superpowers. Like, that's exactly what Ms. Marvel did when Kamala Khan's like character dropped.
Yep. But that was their big push. It was Kamala Khan, Riri Williams, Miles Morales. Yeah, it was all a wave of like younger, more diverse characters.
Yeah, that new readers and stuff can like really attach themselves to because they're growing up with them also. And,
exactly.
And that's why this show will like get an audience and work because you'll have people who like the character and want to check it out, and then you'll have families who want to show their kids this character, like kids who want to watch this and be like, like, oh man, like what if me and my friends had fucking superpowers, you know? And like that's the fucking thing. That's why comics are such a beautiful thing. That's why comic book movies are such a beautiful thing, man. Like it's all that imagination that it brings out,
I think it's also like, and this definitely ties back to that initiative of bringing in like younger, more accessible heroes in like the early 10s. Was a great strategic move on Marvel's part for gaining a younger audience again.
Well, keeping their legacy going. Yeah.
Exactly. You're sort of like getting younger people like in a new world, in a whole new kind of like community that we're living in nowadays, in tune with this vast fucking history of comics at this point.
Yeah.
There has to be a jumping in point. I think the MCU is starting to hit that point. How much do you expect people to start over again? You know, like you might have to get people in now and just running with where the universe is going.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, it's because, I mean, the different mediums reflect different types of attention that people want to put on them, right? Like, with movies and live action entertainment, it's hard to convince somebody to like start over again. That's why it's a hard pressed thing to have Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa replaced with somebody else. Yeah. You know, it's because people have attached themselves to the actor in that role and they don't want to see that change. But in reality, like it's a character that can be filled by anybody.
It's going to be M'Baku.
I mean, I just think I am of the disposition that they should recast T'Challa. Really? I think that's the truth. Chadwick Boseman, did a great job with that role. But I don't think they should let that prominent of a role go to waste.
I can understand that.
And that's just it. Like Black Panther is one thing. That mantle could get passed all around. But T'Challa has a linchpin in the Marvel universe. Like as a person, character, act, whatever. Like, so
fair enough. I can understand both sides of that argument. Continuing with Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, yeah. Like that the obvious big beef is that she's
a Green Lantern.
Basically. So, they completely switch up her powers from being like Mr. Fantastic, basically, to having some sort of like cosmic-esque like energy like power,
imagination, projection,
which you see some like you see some like
the giant fists and everything,
giant fists and stuff in the trailer. But
the imagery is supposed to be similar. Like they're definitely like, I think that they were expecting to get shit for the change.
Well, they know they have to. It's interesting. I think that they were. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what could have driven this change, but because it seems like a really weird thing to change about this character. Yeah. Because you've never seen this character anyway, so it's like, why not just make her stretchy? But I think, I don't think there's any precedent for it because they haven't introduced their most famous stretchy character yet.
But I think that has to do with it, though.
I do think it has to do with it. That's what I'm saying. Is like I think that because Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four aren't
like they're on the horizon, though.
They didn't want to like take away the amazing spectacle of like watching him transform. You know? But at the same time, there's got to be some play with her power change, right? Like I've seen speculation. Maybe it's like something like the quantum bands. Maybe it has something to do with
Quasar.
Maybe it has, well, the quantum bands. Yeah,
is that Quasar?
Quasar's the character.
I didn't know
the quantum bands are like the thing that give him power.
I'd heard the Quasar, like the Quasar wristbands. I didn't know that was the name.
But but like I've also heard rumors that like what if it's like somehow related to the 10 Rings. That technology.
That would actually make quite a bit of sense.
It would be. Yeah, I mean, like they set precedent for it, right? Like in Shang-Chi, it's like they don't know where these powerful fucking rings came from. Like, what else could they like be discovered?
Could be from the same like vein.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could. I would believe it even if they were just like, this is another crazy unknown thing that we humans never experienced before. Like, what the fuck is it? Like,
yeah, exactly. And I think another thing is, I think it would be. Like, I think it has something to do, definitely, with not sort of stepping on the toes of Mr. Fantastic's abilities once he comes around in like a few years, really. And then it has something to do with, I think it has something to do with sort of making it closer in line to like the Captain Marvel powers.
Yeah, well, that was, yeah.
Like, definitely, I mean, like, yeah, the Embiggen, and she's also an Inhuman, which I genuinely...
They're not going to be playing... They're not making her an Inhuman.
Yeah, they're not...
That's the thing. Like, you can tell right now that they're nixing the Inhuman element.
Yeah, I don't think... I think it'd be a stretch for a while to even use the term Inhuman in the MCU.
Which is a shame, man. I think they just need to go in a different direction with it. Forget, like... that the Inhumans project failed. Like that. Yeah. I mean, it's not like they have other failures in their closet, or that they don't have other failures in their closet. They do.
They do.
It's just you just move on.
Yeah, you just move on and sort of like roll with it as best you can. I do think, but it's putting it more in. It's putting her power set more in line with Captain Marvel and
Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau's powers.
Yeah. Well, and that like exactly. It's obviously we're getting a Captain Marvel 2
the Marvels
that will feature like all three of them. And you're right, like there's got to be a reason why Carol Danvers comes and connects with Kamala Khan's character, right? That's going to be the end. Like for some reason, it's going to probably be like the shocker at the end of the series, where it's like somehow she's been signaled that there's these powerful things happening.
Well, I do think
with this energy that's close to her.
Well, I do think it has something. Your point about the 10 rings really just clicked for me. That's probably it, because we saw Captain Marvel like consulting with Bruce Banner about the origin of the rings.
Yeah,
what this might very well have something to do with it.
I agree. I mean,
I'm so like on a nihilist.
I mean, it's all a nihilist.
Oh,
it's Mephisto, man. We all know
Mephisto.
that. No.
I kept seeing memes that there was like the asshole like other teenage girl who had the devil horns. Somebody went. It was the meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen. Whoop, Mephisto.
No. I mean, either way, like I said,
imagine if that was it. By the way,
that would be fucking absurd. That's how they bring Mephisto in. Now that, I mean, it'll be a like a fun show, I'm sure. Like I think you'll get some like another draw, and this is why as like a fan of the MCU franchise, there's a draw for me to like watch, because that they're gonna plug in some connectivity to other things, and that's like if you're following along with these movies, that's hella important, and something that as a fan you crave is that they put in those little like hidden connections and stuff.
It's what makes it fun. I also think I will watch it because despite the failures of Marvel at some points, have an expectation of quality that they've relatively consistently met. It's like if there's some like weird interconnection in we always bag on it, but in Morbius, I'm just gonna find out what it is on like YouTube. I'm like, there's no way that I'm watching that movie. If Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is in Morbius, I will find out not by watching it opening night.
No.
But me and Kate will probably sit down and watch every episode of Miss Marvel as it's released. Just to see,
Yeah, Morbius. Well, as always, there's always like MCU stuff that's kind of worth paying attention to. But that being said, like we got like steering away from MCU, there was obviously the big drop in recently.
Yes.
From the most direct competition, I'd say.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely.
And obviously, you know what that is. You've seen it. Yes,
sir. The Batman.
Yeah.
You have not had a chance to see it. Once again, life has been crazy, y'all. Fucking bully like some cinema chain into giving us early tickets, and we will watch them.
Yeah, exactly.
Opening night. But right now, we got jobs.
Where's our press passes, man?
We got lives. we gotta do our own shit. Jared hasn't had a chance to make it yet, so I will refrain from spoilers. This is not an Eternals situation where the movie was mediocre enough that I'm cool dropping some spoilers and with Jared right away.
Yeah.
The Batman is fucking fantastic, and I don't want to ruin it for you. Like Paul Dano fucking kills in the role. Everyone
literally, probably.
Yes. There's some, and I genuinely think if I run into him, I will be scared. The Zoe Kravitz steals every scene she's in. Penguin kills. He's awesome. He's so good.
Nice.
Robert Pattinson is awesome as well. Just completely exemplifies the role. I think one of the best things they did was they completely dropped the billionaire playboy aspect. And he's just like, they sell that he is completely uncomfortable as Bruce Banner.
Bruce Wayne. Sorry.
I don't know if you could hear that, listeners. That was me headbutting the microphone for that fuck up.
Man,
as Bruce Wayne. And you see through the movie, he spends so little time as Bruce Wayne. It's just 90% of the time he's Batman.
Interesting.
And Alfred, great. It's like across the board, excellent performances. The movie is beautifully shot. There's minimal sequel baiting. There's only one thing, and I will not spoil it, that makes me be like, yeah, they want a sequel, but nothing's been greenlit yet.
Yeah.
other than a Penguin series.
Well, yeah, they got those spin-off series.
The Gotham PD's on hold though.
Bummer.
Yeah.
And then I mean,
But Penguin is happening.
Obviously, like the big tease is that guy as Joker, and there's some sort of scene that.
Okay, so you're aware of that.
Yeah.
It's
some sort of scene that alludes to
it's
him
maybe,
and the Riddler maybe pairing up or something.
It's maybe a minute and a half. It's very brief. You don't even get to see the Joker essentially. You see like him silhouetted.
Yeah, it would have been it would have been a bad move to put like a full makeup, like kind of like.
Well, it seems like they're going a very different way with it.
Interesting.
As well. The silhouette, it sort of looks like he's like deformed, like he has like a facial like deformation, and I saw some interviews with the director Matt Reeves talking about. Scars. It looks like he's going for like a proto Joker type thing, where this guy he's not quite there yet, sort of like what they did in Gotham.
Okay.
They're really milking this is early Batman.
Yeah.
But like I think it's fantastic. It's a visual spectacle. The score is incredible. Michael Giacchino just is going to win all the awards for this one.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's a machine. Everything he writes and composes is incredible. But yeah, I think listeners,
were there any talking apes in this movie?
No, disappointingly so.
Dang it,
Dude, I forgot. In Peacemaker, there's the one episode with the talking ape. And I was like, Gorilla Grodd! This is how they do it. And they kill him with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
No, but the Batman is fucking incredible. And I would recommend anyone go watch it. The only detractor is that it is a bit long. And at some points you do feel that length.
That's what I heard also.
Kate likened it to binge watching a Netflix series where you're never really bored. Like you're engaged the whole time. It's good. You're enjoying yourself. You're having a great time like going through this with the characters.
Yeah.
But you leave it and you're just tired. You know? Whoa. You're just fucking exhausted by the end of it. And I completely agree.
But that's the ride, man. Like
exactly.
That's a kind of an interesting feeling to get off of a movie, though. If you ask me, it's like, whoa, dude,
in the same way,
happened?
In the same way, almost I would liken the feeling of the length to Endgame. It's right around that same length. Endgame was just over 3 hours. The Batman is like just below, I think.
The Batman, no, it's like the Batman hits like a 3 hour mark.
Really?
Yeah, that was like one of the big deals about it.
I think
like,
I think
they were
so.
like, it's like 3 hours.
It's got like 3 hours and 2 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's like right there. You
know? But they and considering there's not a post credit scene, it's like you actually have 3 hours just under 3 hours of movie probably. But the I liken it to Endgame almost in terms of length because I was never bored watching Endgame.
No.
It was 3 hours, but it validated that length through being good. And the Batman also does that. It is solid all the way through, and you're able to enjoy yourself all the way through. So you never feel like falling asleep, you know? This disgusting dog.
Bowie's giving his opinions.
I think the Batman is great. I snuck out and watched it.
Yeah, he did. He used my credit.
Oh, there we go, bud. Yeah, Bowie has a credit card.
I genuinely can't wait to watch it. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things like you know it's going to be a winner.
Yeah.
And you knew it was before it released. Everything's validated it.
I think it was. I rarely have I seen a movie that looked so good from the get go and delivered completely.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, and that is one of the things that Warner Brothers and these DC property movies. Like they really need more wins like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, they do. They really do because they've had such a bad history, as you've heard extensively on this podcast, of like promising great things and then just either like canceling projects or just like following through with bullshit.
Speaking of broken promises, they released that huge fucking heavily edited, triumphant, like 2022 is DC thing. And then like a month later delayed two of the 4 movies out of 2022.
Flash and Black Adam?
Flash and Aquaman are 23, Aquaman, and Black Adam is like October.
Yeah.
So they push it back. I was like, no, guys, you need to make those decisions before you make the big promo.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Either way, I mean, like they look like they have some genuinely interesting things coming up, and I think if they. The success here with the Batman, I mean, it hit, what I was reading today is that it surpassed, like, $500 million on
I'm not surprised.
on its fucking first weekend or some
It's
shit
definitely not as accessible as like some of the other DC films. Like it's not going to crack $1 billion just because of the film itself and like how it's produced.
Yeah.
But I think it is great nonetheless.
Hell
And
yeah.
it's not like flopping either. So it's not going to be like a huge box office moneymaker, but it's going to be an immensely successful movie that hopefully validates like a trilogy or something. I'd watch 3 of them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely know that the people are going to want more from it. It's,
it's
going to be, I think, what you're going to find with, Matt Reeves and, like, perhaps this, burgeoning branch of Batman legacy or whatever, is that, like, he'll probably go in the way of Christopher Nolan, you know, where I imagine he'll do, like, a specific, like, 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And like he's not gonna push it past that for himself because Matt Reeves is a good storyteller and he knows when to stop. I think
what got me super excited, man?
What?
One of the few, I saw this afterwards in like a breakdown video. One of the very few allusions toward other characters, or not allusions, but one of the
like a little nod or something.
Little nod to a character existing in the universe is Hush.
That's cool.
And I was like, yes!
I mean, it'd be smart. Like, that's one of the more modern antagonists that they brought in.
That they could definitely use if they're going... It is truly, they were not bullshitting. It is more of a detective story than an action film.
Yeah.
A very ideal character for something like that.
Hell yeah.
Because Hush ain't a brawler. He's just a smart guy who looks like Bruce Wayne.
It'll be that'd be interesting. I'd be foreseeing like that eventually on the screen. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the animated film from a few years ago is pretty good.
Hell yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I do have something to plug though.
What do you got?
The new podcast under the Old Heart Radio umbrella. Amateurs Note, hosted by Lucas and Kate.
Lucas.
You've heard Kate's name many times on this show, listeners. Whether that is in me referencing our heated debates about Harry Potter or her general thoughts on a film that I liked and she didn't. So we decided to make our own podcast. Much like the early conversations that me and Jared had working in a cafe, probably annoying customers with geeky shit that led us to recording this podcast. Me and Kate have always enjoyed talking about media and movies and TV. So we said, fuck it. We're going to do our own podcast. And it's going to be slightly different than Matinee Edition, so we don't step on each other's feet. So we're just going to be mainly focusing on like one specific episode, like subject per episode after this first one. And I really hope you guys listen. The first episode is going to be out in the next few days or so. I'm going to send it off to Jared. Maybe we'll get it out with this one. And we will hopefully get you listening to it. Amateur's Note.
Hell yeah, man. It sounds like, we'll be plugging into the rotation soon. So it'll be, one of the ones to just start like looking for on fucking Spotify and iTunes with the rest of them. You'll see Amateur's Notes right in the in the rotation. That'll be actually really cool because that's something I get really excited about with Old Heart is, as always, adding more to the fucking regiment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool to have like 3 weeklies. It'd be great to have like a fourth, even once, twice, however many times a month.
Yeah.
I think it just gives a wider diversity to any sort of hot dog out there that was willing to become a corn dog.
Oh yeah. There's so many different kinds of hot dogs.
There are.
Everybody has a different taste. I like to think that we're maybe the cocktail wiener here at Matinee Edition. maybe fucking picking a blanket is what the under for the review is.
I do like pigs in a blanket,
Yeah, there you go.
But I mean, it's hard to tell what kind of Franks we all are. but all I know is it's just fun to like get new people on and get different voices on. And,
it's always a good time.
You know what I mean? And so
Kate can join the very limited crowd of women that have contributed to the Old Heart Radio.
That's what I'm saying, man. Where my ovaries at? We're always looking for fucking contributors. So that being said, no, I'm gonna leave it in. That being said, I really just think like it's a great example of like. If you want to hop on something, you want to do a playlist on UFR, you want to fucking
Hit us up.
yeah, talk
Start a
about a movie, you
conversation.
want to jump on a fucking episode of anything really. We're not necessarily opposed.
Yeah. We're always down to hear from people. Give us your ideas for shows. If you want to pitch something to us, feel free. We'll judge you.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll like it.
Good day.
Leave it there.